fantastic. He reports everything really well, as Sheffield knows us. And we also have a local newspaper, news, Cllr, and that is just behind you with the camera itself. If there is any sort of advertisement or any articles what you need to write in, by all means do get in touch with them, and they'll put it in yourself. But much more important than that, we have the month of Ramadan, where we have the community Radio Ramadan every year itself, and that is a service, a really valuable service. Mr. Shabir is right at the back itself, who does give opportunity to people to come on and talk about the issues when people ring in. So if not this year, if you need to have the opportunity next year, by all means do so. We are applying for a unity license at Pakistan Muslim Centre, which we ran as a station for a month, about four months ago, and is coming back on air very soon again. So again, it's an opportunity open to yourself if you want to come in and really tell us services, so we can reach out to the community, much wider community, which is out there itself. Can I bring in Cllr Shaffaq for a couple of minutes, and let's get these 2 minutes right now.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Mr. Ali, for inviting us, but more importantly, actually bringing some old friends and colleagues together who have done lots of work with us for a number of years. I remember between 2008 and 11 working with Chris and Sue in particular with the coroner service and bereavement services. I think we had a good time. I know there's one difficult period we had when we did make the national newspapers, but it wasn't our issue, it was someone making mischief in terms of the services that were provided to us as a community, when actually, ourselves in the Jewish community were offered these weekend burials, but what people didn't understand was that actually quite a lot of the burying and what have you was done by the community as opposed to being done by services whether it's B&C and others, and I think unfairly the City Council staff at that time were the brunt of it, and Martin Green in particular. Pay credit to him, because Martin did actually do a lot for our community. I mean, Chris, I've had the joys of ringing the office so many times when people have asked. Chris did offer me to go around and have a look at the work in detail, but I do have a bit of a dodgy stomach, so I turned that down. I must confess, 25 years ago, when I started my working life, I had a choice to make. I actually went to work for the Sheffield Co-op, and one of the jobs that was on offer was to go and work for the bereavement services, the funeral services at the time. And
he said to me, he said, Dad,
I remember it. I thought, I'd not take a chance, and I went and worked for the grocery department. But I actually got to know the guys at the sharp end, and they are spot on. I mean, let me tell you, I once chose another funeral service due to family pressures, and we were badly let down. We talk about hearse, there weren't even a hearse. It was a transit van. When we got to the mosque, frankly, it was a winter day, and most of the community was inside. And we quickly took the body inside, and then we almost blanked it to say, well, the body's going to Pakistan, they have to transfer it to a van. When actually we badly let down our funeral service. I'm very clear. From that day onwards, I was saying, I'm going to put my trust back into a group of people that, in my opinion, have never let us down. And I contrast that with when my uncle died. We died in the morning, we let the funeral services know, B&C came, their officer stood there for an hour waiting for the doctor to come and sign off the death. And every time I said, are you sure you're alright standing outside, you can go sit in your car? He said, no, I'm here with the ambulance, there's no pressure. And those are the things that count actually, and we just want to thank you for it. I know people say we paid for the service. Yeah, well, we paid for the service that one occasion, and we were badly let down. And you guys only get one chance to get it right. And almost all the time, I've never heard, like you, Mr. Ali, never heard of B&C getting it wrong. I'm sure your hands do break down, but you do have cover. And even when when we go to wash the bodies there, I know some of the mosques have got washing facilities now, but your staff on hand have always been brilliant. And similarly, in terms of registrar office, I mean, we've tried, we've worked well. I mean, the out hours number does work. All I'll say to people is persevere. You always ring at 6 o'clock in the morning. Staff aren't going to pick that phone up, but if you ring at the times that you have been told, they will pick it up at weekends. Me and Mr. Sharif tried that recently, and it worked fine. And I have to say, you know, Birmingham is going to get a kick in place, because the amount of times I've been to Birmingham when the relatives of ours have died and the community just does not know when the funeral is going to take place. And actually it gets quite embarrassing, because what tends to happen is a huge gathering and people say, well, hang on, Shaffaq's here from Sheffield. People die in the morning and they're buried in the afternoon. Why can't it happen here? You explain what you do in Sheffield that we can't do in Birmingham. And I say, look, it's not a lot of what we do, it's what we build upon, the work that Ajay Nazir, the former councillor of Al did, and others, and what we do with our partners and our friends. And yes, you know, there is some flexibility that Chris and others provide, but ultimately they have to work within the law. And all I say to everyone here is, understand sometimes that we might not be able to move things as quick as possible. And it's not because of the trying of Chris's department or Sue, our bereavement service or registrar office. It's because there's a technical difficulty. You know, I think, got a gold-plated service in Sheffield here. Many people ring the phone up to me, councillors from different parties, wanting to know what we've done in Sheffield. And often we advise them, and Sue knows the amount of times people have come to see our service. And all we say is, thank you very much for all the years of service. Long may it continue, and hope we can assist you in the day job, because it's one of the most difficult times we face when we have a bereavement. Thank you.